What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here. Welcome you back to another episode of VGC Factories. We've got our headphones back because I want to try it out and compare. Keep switching, it doesn't matter. We're really here for the Pokemon. Today, we're coming back with this team that we had for the last episode, so I'm not going to go over too much. If you missed that one, check the playlist in the description and go peep it. But of course, 3 things I need from you as always. 1, sit back and enjoy the video. You don't even have to do the other 2 if you don't want to. But 2, go ahead and leave some suggestions down below of teams or Pokemon you want to see in VGC Factory specifically as we continue. And 3, thinking about this team, let me know what modifications you would make. Do you think that I should change as you see the battles play out? So I've been finding some pretty good success with this team off screen. We're currently 1623, which I know isn't the highest or anything, but for me, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good rating. It's pretty good rating. 1623. We're going up against someone from Italy, Mitchell. 1624. He's got. Oh, okay. I'm glad I get to feature this Pokemon. This Pokemon makes me rage, but I won't rage. I promise. What is your name? Origami Paperboy. I can't remember Paperboy's name. I'm just gonna call him Paperboy. Literally, that would be my nickname for him, Paperboy. Like straight up, the Super Nintendo SNES game. If I see his name, I will know it. I will remember it. Kartana. Kartana. Really, really crazy Pokemon. Super frail on the special defensive side, only 31 special defense, but it doesn't matter. Its regular base defense is 131. Its HP is 59, so really little, really small HP stat. 181 attack and 109 speed. So its speed ties with my Ninetales, which is really unfortunate. Otherwise, the Ice Beam, the Blizzard would pretty much take it out. Shadow Sneak's not gonna do much to it. And because that guy's here, I'm actually gonna go ahead and panic open up with the Arcanine. Just gonna panic open up with it. I have an answer for it. It's gonna be the Arcanine, and I'm gonna get to Intimidate. I'm also going to go ahead and looking at the rest of his team. He's got a Bulu and he's got a Finny. I'm gonna bring my Ninetales. I'm gonna lead with it, actually. I'm gonna bring Tapu Koko in the back because you can see the terrain war is going to be real. And in the back, for my last Pokemon, I think I'll go ahead and I'll bring my Mimikyu? Either Mimikyu or Marowak. Whimsicott's not coming this time around because it doesn't have grass type coverage. I think I'm gonna go with Mimikyu. Mainly because of the disguise. You can see I'm passionate. He's something similar though. He's got something similar going on. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's something. Something to keep an eye out for. So we'll see what he leads with. Usually players lead with their Kartana and just start winning right away because that's literally what Kartana does. Hopefully this doesn't happen to us. We're gonna see I lead Arcanine Ninetales, which for me just makes me so happy leading these 2 Pokemon. It really does. We're gonna see my opponent lead with Kartana and the Drampa. So we have a pretty sweet spot here. The only thing that's unfortunate is obviously Kartana is Steel type, and that's super effective against our Ninetales. Little afraid of that for sure. However, I wouldn't mind. We gotta decide, is he gonna outright attack? Is he choice scarfed? Those are the questions we have to answer. I don't think he can afford to attack because we have an Arcanine right here, and Arcanine's gonna outspeed Drampa. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna double attack. I'm gonna go for the burn up on the Kartana slot, and I'm gonna go for the Blizzard. I don't know that Blizzard will actually take out Kartana, even though it has very little special defense. It might live. So part of me wants to protect my Ninetales. It is a speed tie though, if we don't protect. I'm gonna Blizzard. I think he's gonna switch out the Kartana. It's intimidated. He's not gonna switch it out. Blizzard's gonna go off first, so we win a speed tie or he's adamant. It's gonna bring the Kartana down to Focus Sash. Pretty unfortunate for us because we could have targeted down the Drampa instead, gone for a Snarl. Now I've never been in this situation with the Damage Calc before, so now I know that I could do that. We're gonna see a Smart Strike here. Smart Strike is going to deal a whopping amount of damage and take us out. So it is not looking too hot for us. Had we gone for a Snarl and mitigated the Berserk boost, we would be in a much better situation. Or even if we burned up on the Drampa, we probably could have brought it down to a point where Hail would take it out. But now I know. Gotta watch out. This is a +1 high voice, a single target. It's gonna do a lot of damage. I am pretty invested in my defenses, but still does a lot. Our Ninetales going down early is pretty bad for us. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring out the Mimikyu here. I'm gonna bring out the Mimikyu because I have the disguise. I don't want to bring out my electric terrain and then have my opponent bring out the terrain. Tapu Koko is gonna be very fast. We're gonna see my opponent also bring out a Mimikyu. Interestingly enough, Unfortunately, the best thing I can really do here is Snarl, as it'll hit both my opponent's Pokemon, and it'll break that Disguise. And Arcanine is actually faster. Oh, this might actually work out perfectly. Arcanine is not faster than my Mimikyu. My Mimikyu is 4 points faster. That's a little unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and we'll just play rough the Drampa. We'll just play rough the Drampa. We're not gonna, that thing cannot attack. That thing's not gonna get to attack. We're gonna go play rough on it. There it goes down. Not sure what Mimikyu's gonna wanna do. Maybe a Z move onto my Arcanine and get it out of here. But we're gonna get a Snarl off first, which is just fine. Obviously, the lowering the special attack does not matter at all, but breaking that Disguise is extremely important, especially considering my Disguise is still intact. Had I protected with my Ninetales turn 1, that would have been just incredible. We're gonna see the Trick Room from this Mimikyu. That's not the best for us, but I think we can manage. My opponent only has 2 Pokemon left. Of course, he can double up into the Mimikyu slot to break the Disguise and then take it up. We'll see what his last Pokemon is. I'm guessing it's gonna be Bulu. I feel like it'll be Bulu. We're gonna see the Marowak, actually. Okay, so Marowak is pretty dangerous because it can actually go ahead and just Bone Club the Mimikyu, break the Disguise, and do a lot of damage. So I think he's gonna wanna double into the Mimikyu slot here. I kind of wanna preserve my Intimidate, considering these are the last 2 Pokemon my opponent has, and intimidating it could mean everything. But I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to... Question is, will he double into that slot? That's the real question. I don't think he will. I think he's gonna want to take out this Arcanine. I'm gonna Helping Hand, and I could Shadow Sneak the Marowak, but I don't think that'll take you out. I'm gonna Shadow Claw the Marowak. I'm gonna Helping Hand and then Shadow Claw. This is why I love Arcanine. Arcanine with Helping Hand is so... Let's see if it works out for us before we start speaking words. We're gonna see a Shadow Sneak onto the Mimikyu to break the sub, and then I'm sure we're gonna see a Shadow Club, unfortunately, going into the Mimikyu because he did that. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Goes for the Shadow Bone, not Shadow Club, Shadow Bone into the slot. Gonna take us out, I believe. Had we gotten an Aurora Veil up, it's a crit. I don't think the crit matters. I should have gone for the Shadow Sneak there, 100%. Now I want to know how much that Shadow Sneak would have done. That's what stinks now. We're never gonna know until we get this matchup again and do that same exact situation. We're gonna go on to Tapu Koko here, but the only chance we really have of winning is if we can manage to get a double protect. I feel like that's the only chance we have. Shadow Sneak does around 40%, so a Helping Hand, oh my gosh, would have done around 50-60%. So it wouldn't have one-shot by any means. Shadow Claw would have, though. So it's a great play by my opponent to go for that. We could Snarl here. It is super effective on the Marowak, but it's really... How many turns of Trick Room are left? I think they've got 3 turns. Yeah, we can't outstall that. Okay, then we just gotta try to go for, like, Broke. I'm gonna Snarl, because it's super effective. And I'm going to protect my Tapu Koko. I gotta hope that he just doesn't see Arcanine as a threat and just goes for the Tapu Koko only, but let's see. We're gonna see the Mimikyu going for Shadow Sneak, which really confuses me. Not really, I guess, but I would think that he's got a pretty slow Mimikyu. We're gonna Snarl, gonna do a decent amount to, not really a decent amount. We're gonna do hardly anything. Obviously lowering the special attack means nothing. I really just wanted to get some spread damage off. The only other move I have that we would be able to do is, Arcanine's going down next turn no matter what. And I'm sure we would need the Boomerang to miss in order to win. That's the only chance we have. Okay, so let's go for that. Let's go for the missing Boomerang. Let's go for Helping Hand. And let's go for Dazzling Gleam. Of course, as soon as I hit record, I lose. I just won 4 in a row and decided to click record. And then that turn 1, my Ninetales not being around and that Trick Room getting set up. I really have to remember that Mimikyu gets Trick Room, and it's a pretty common Trick Room setter right now. Pretty common Trick Room setter. We're gonna dodge? We're not gonna dodge. All right, that's gonna be the game. That's right, we're gonna go for another game. Once again, Aurora Veil would have totally let us live a lot more, but I had decided to go for Blizzard turn 1. And I traded my Ninetales for a Kartana, technically. And the other difference we could have made in that game was if we targeted down the Drampa. Now that we know our damage calc, the Kartana cannot, with that base 39 special defense, I don't know why I ever thought it would ever be able to live anything, cannot take any sort of special hit. We could have even protected our Ninetales and just gone for and just let our Arcanine do it, and we would have a full HP Ninetales. But that would have been brilliant. That would have been brilliant. Because I don't think we saw that our Arcanine did not go down turn 1, so we could have definitely protected Ninetales and then just gone for the burn up against the Kartana. We'll do that next time for sure. Next time we get into that situation, if we do, we'll go into that. So I don't think it was necessarily the team's fault or the Pokemon we brought, just the decisions we made, which honestly, I'd prefer that because I'd rather know that I have to change my skills. I'm sure the team still needs adjustments, of course, but it's easier for me to adjust than for me to have to adjust an entire team. So we still have hope for this team, still have hope. Despite the 2 fire types and the 3 fairy types. Honestly, the only Pokemon that really scares me is Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck really pushes my team in super hard. Like, I end up having to play extremely cautious. We're gonna see Gengar, Lilligant, Hypno. First time we're seeing a Hypno, Tapu Fini, Torkoal, and Arcanine. Once again, it looks a little Trick Roomy. I'm guessing Hypno gets Trick Room. I'm like 90% positive it does. Because it's a Psychic type, and it's slow, and it would thrive. It does, in fact, get Trick Room. So, we could see the Hypno and Blank lead, which means that I really just want to lead with stuff that can decimate those Pokemon. So I'm going to lead Ninetales Marowak. It seems pretty solid to me. The Gengar lead would be kind of scary, because they would threaten the Marowak. Because of that, but I really like the Marowak because it threatens the Torkoal and the Arcanine in a way that Mimikyu can't. Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with that. Yeah, we're gonna lead Ninetales Marowak. And we're gonna bring in the back. Arcanine doesn't seem too useful in this matchup, not at all. We're gonna bring Tapu Koko for the Tapu Fini, and I believe we can just bring the Mimikyu. Whimsicott is really here just to kind of scare my opponents into thinking I'm either gonna Tailwind or Taunt, and then if I really need a Taunt user, it's more there for 2 out of 3s than for BattleSpot, to be honest with you. Very rarely do I say, all right, Whimsicott, you're perfect here. But setting up a Tailwind is never bad. If you see that an opponent's team is not gonna be a Trick Room team, bringing a Tailwind user is the biggest reason why I went with Whimsicott. I was really hoping that what Pokemon was I originally looking at? I think I was looking at Crobat, but he doesn't get Tailwind in this generation. I believe it's transfer only. So we're actually going to see the Torkoal, Chlorophyll, Sunny Day shenanigans leading the way. And I'm not sure exactly what my opponent's going to want to do here as far as which Pokemon he's going to want to take out. And by take out, I mean put to sleep. Unfortunately, we did open up with our Hail. Otherwise, we could shut this thing down real fast. But I think Sunny Day Chlorophyll is just gonna mess me up a little bit. All right, I'm gonna be a risky baby. I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to switch out into my Tapu Koko. Something very important to know: Tapu Koko makes it so that any Pokemon that are on the ground cannot be put to sleep. Very important to keep in mind. So I'm gonna switch in my Tapu Koko, switch out my Ninetales, and then I think I'm just gonna go for the Bone Meringue on the Torkoal. I'm gonna go for the Bone Ring on the Torkoal because I don't want a full HP Eruption going off. And I really didn't know about the sleeping. I really did not know about the sleeping ability, preventing ability of the Electric Terrain. So this is super useful. Sleep Powder is no longer gonna be a thing right now. We're gonna see after you. Oh, I did not know. I did not know that. Wow. Okay. First time I'm facing a Lilligant like this. I have not seen FU, or if I have, I do not remember it. We're gonna get a Boomerang off. We're gonna sacrifice our Tapu Koko in the process, which is really, really bad because we know there's potentially a Tapu Fini in the back. Like there's most likely a Tapu Fini in the back. I'm wondering if a Shadow Sneak can do the trick. I'm gonna go on into my Mimikyu. I don't think a Shadow Sneak will take this thing out by any stretch of the imagination. But I also don't think he's gonna go ahead and I don't think he's going to go ahead and do the After You again. After You Eruption, After You Solar Beam, neither of those would do really well against me. Now that his HP's so low. After You Sludge Wave's not going to do anything. So that's not really going to be the play that my opponent makes, I don't think. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Shadow Claw the Torkoal slot. I do expect something to switch in, but I don't want to go for Play Rough and then be wrong. Although Play Rough might still pick up the knockout here. We could risk it. We could risk it and see what the damage is, but I really don't want to. And then I'm going to Flare Blitz the Lilligant slot. I'm going to Flare Blitz that slot, hoping that Lilligant just stays in. Lilligant is going to go for the After You again. I'm really interested in what this Torkoal goes for. Explosion? No, it won't be Explosion, obviously. Heat Wave. Heat Wave in the sun. I think Marowak should live it. And it's going to burn our Mimikyu, ladies and gentlemen. I love getting burned through disguise. It's such a spit in the face. It's literally someone hawking a giant loogie in your face. Literally nothing now. Literally nothing thanks to that burn. Would have been a double knockout. It technically is going to be because Lilligant and our Marowak. Oh, well, Lilligant's not going to go down, unfortunately. We can solve that real quick, though. Marowak's going to go down. And I really didn't want to bring in my Ninetales again, but obviously I have to. I have no more Pokemon. Oh my gosh, dude. After You. Well, Whimsicott would have been great in this. Now that I know about After You, I was thinking just Trick Room. I was not thinking After You, Lilligant. So we're learning. We are learning things right now. We might be able to squeeze in a third game in this episode. Just might. That's basically only if we lose. Once again, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna double protect here. I'm gonna double protect. Because I think my opponent's still gonna want to go After You Heat Wave because the Ninetales is on the field. Even if it's not in the sun, that would do a huge amount of damage to me. So we're gonna double protect. We'll let the Hail take the Lilligant out and see what my opponent decides to bring in instead. My opponent could also go for like a Sleep Powder and switch in their Finny. Wait, that wouldn't make sense, right? Finny prevents statuses. Wouldn't do that. Would not do that. Scratch that. So I guess I should have realized that. Sleep Powder Lilligant wouldn't be the strategy if you also have a Finny on your team, although you can let your team do multiple things. So maybe it would. Maybe it would. Man, I can't believe we won 4. We got all the way up to like 16 some odd, and now we're losing 2 in a row most likely on the channel. That's craziness. Unless Ninetales really wants to pull through. Unless Elsa really wants to pull through. My opponent cannot decide what to do, and I just double protected. I just straight up double protected and said, forget this. You can After You. I want the Lilligant to go down to Hail, unless this Torkoal has Sunny Day. Does this Torkoal have Sunny Day? We're gonna see the Sleep Powder, although that would not have worked. We're gonna see an Eruption here, and that's not gonna work either. We would have been pretty safe just going for a Blizzard to take out both my opponent's Pokemon, but that's okay. It looks like my opponent does not know that the Electric Terrain keeps Pokemon awake, because it does keep Pokemon awake. Cannot put them to sleep. At least we saw the Sleep Powder, so that was a potential. I wasn't completely out of my mind for thinking that was gonna be the potential play. Now I think Torkoal would go down to a Shadow Sneak, although Shadow Claw did literally nothing. And Shadow Sneak is half as strong. Not even. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, it's actually a little bit more than half strong. We have a Gengar here. This is interesting. The question is, do I go for the double protect with my Ninetales? I think that's the only thing I can do. Let's see. Because I could Shadow Claw the Gengar. Since Shadow Sneak is doing nothing. I think a Sludge Wave is going to take us out. That's why I want to try to go for the double protect. Or we just go for a Blizzard here and go for Broke and hope that he's not timid. I'm gonna Blizzard. I'd rather Blizzard than double protect, I guess. It is Battle Spot, so you never know. We're actually gonna see Gengar go for the Shadow Ball into the Mimikyu. So I'm really happy I didn't even bother going for that double protect, because this is basically the only chance I have to win. Blizzard's gonna come out, and it's going to take out both my, maybe not take out the Gengar, I shouldn't say that. I should not say that. We're not gonna get a freeze on the Gengar, which would have been pretty much what we needed in order to do anything here, because we saw the Gengar outspeed us, pretty much meaning that it's timid. I doubt that my opponent is modest speed tying with a Ninetales. It's a little bit too much. We'll see what my opponent's last Pokemon is, though. If it's Tapu Fini anyway, it would be kind of tough for us to come through. It is gonna be the Tapu Fini. It would have been a really uphill battle, regardless. I'd say the only chance we have here is if we get freezes, live the Gengar, get freezes, and my opponent doesn't have Scald. Which all too many things to happen. It doesn't look like we're gonna have time for another battle, unfortunately, but we're gonna have another episode with this team because I feel like this team's getting robbed on camera, man. It's not fair. It is not fair. I mean, granted, in the last episode, we did pretty good with the team. I think we won one, lost one, I think. I can't remember. These battles all blend together. We're gonna see Gengar go for another Shadow Ball, telling me that he's probably Specs, not going for the poison type move, gonna get the special defense drop, unfortunately for us. Now the freeze, more than ever, would have been incredible. Gengar is going to go down. Tapu Fini is going to resist that easily. And we see no freeze there, which means the Moon Blast coming from the Tapu Fini. Actually going to go for a Calm Mind. Okay. Okay. That means that I am definitely going to go for another Blizzard, as I think it's the only chance I have to win, would be to freeze this thing. We're going to see the lefties, which is unfortunate. Should I even bother? No, let's not even bother. I mean, I guess we should. If he's got Calm Mind, it's gonna protect Calm Mind, Scald, and Moonblast. So it's gonna be able to thaw instantly anyway. Let's just go for Moonblast. It's gonna be able to thaw instantly. So let's go for Moonblast. I mean, all my opponent had to do was go for 2 attacks to win. I don't understand, but you know what? We're all learning. We're all learning. Also, perhaps maybe just wanted to show off. If we'd gotten the special attack drop, wouldn't have mattered. But we're gonna see, ooh, actually Dazzling Gleam, not the Moonblast. Maybe that's why she wanted to go for the Calm Mind. For BP, but Elsa's gonna go down. We're unfortunately gonna have 2 losses in today's episode of VGC Factory. We're coming back for another episode very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed and learned even something, let me know what you learned in today's episode down in the comment section below. And of course, show some shady love to that sub button so you don't miss any of our content. I'm gonna get the hashtag out of here. Have yourselves a good day, but above all else, keep it shady.